Cheerio. It's the day of the 2010 general election, and it's set to be Britain's closest vote in nearly 20 years. As the sun rises over the East End of London, two politicians have the chance to take a seat in the House of Commons and a place in history by snatching the new seat of Poplar and Limehouse from the Labour MP Jim Fitzpatrick. The constituency is very diverse. There are affluent areas around Canary Wharf, where middle-class young professionals have moved to be close to the financial district, but it also includes some of London's most deprived neighbourhoods. And the big Bangladeshi population here could play an influential part in the election.
Poplar and Limehouse ward is the most contentious in London. The boundaries have changed. We now have the River Lee, which forms the end of the constituency to the east. The boundary has also moved further west. We've got a bit more of Wapping and Shadwell closer towards the Tower of London. So really, it's up for grabs.
Nice to see you. Have you voted yet?
George Galloway is the candidate for Respect, the party he founded after he was thrown out of Labour in 2003. George's anti-war stance and his aggressive campaigning seem to be a winning formula. He's hoping it'll work for him again this time around.
This is the 6th parliamentary election I have contested as a candidate, but it's probably the 10th or the 11th general election that I've participated in one way or another. For me, elections can't come often enough.
Tim Archer is very well known locally. He's on the local council, on Tower Hamlets Council. He represents the Isle of Dogs where he lives. He's local, he's known local, he's a campaigner, he's a veteran political fighter. He knows what the score is locally.
Well, I've been involved in local politics around here for about 8 or 9 years. I had a couple of stabs at getting elected onto the council and then did it at the third go, which was back in 2006. And obviously I stood as the parliamentary candidate here last time. I was reselected 3 years ago for this new constituency of Poplar and Limehouse via an open primary, which effectively means that everyone in the constituency had the opportunity to come and grill the Conservative candidates and then vote for which one they preferred to be their Conservative candidate.
Down at Respect HQ, George's team of volunteers are preparing for a long day on the streets of Poplar and Limehouse. They'll be giving out leaflets, talking to voters and knocking on doors all over the constituency. Their open-top campaign bus has become a symbol of Respect's presence in the East End.
Some people are going to go off today straight away to start the door knocking. Others will be coming on the bus down to the Shadwell area, some street campaigning and so on, and then onto the Isle of Dogs, where you'll be knocking from 3 o'clock. And then there's others arriving later on, where we've got a second bout of knocking later in the afternoon.
George Galloway will always give us the headlines.
He says what he means, and he means what he says.
He is an acquired taste as a politician.
Back at the polling station, Tim starts the day by casting his own vote, and he's looking forward to the Conservative team putting in a long shift for him before the polls close.
Thank you, Mum.
Ben, super child. Come on, Charlie. Come on, sweetie. Hello. Oh, yeah.
It's always quite a strange feeling when you get to vote for yourself on the ballot paper. So it's good to have done it. It's good to know I've got at least one vote, if nothing else.
Tim, I thought, was a really, really nice guy, first of all, because you meet quite a few people, and they're all quite brash, and they don't really want to give you the time of the day, they don't really want to speak to you. But he did. He actually sat down, he actually spoke to me, and I was really sort of taken aback with that.
In 2002, he knocked on my door and said, "You're a Conservative, I believe. Would you sign my nomination for the council?" And he'd got my name from Central Office because I was a member at Central Office. I didn't know there was a local. There were so few Conservatives locally.
We tend to speak to each other 2 or 3 times a day on the telephone. We also meet up. I've seen him so far twice today. The agent is the person who firstly carries the legal liability for the campaign. It's responsible for everything that goes out. It's the only person that's allowed to spend any money during the campaign. And my name is the one that appears at the bottom of every piece of paper that goes on at saying who has promoted it.
I've been knocking on a lot of doors over the last few weeks, over the last few months, and we seem to be getting a very positive response.
It's important to me that there's a change in the politics in the country and in this constituency. It needs a change here. We've never had a Conservative MP, and we need to, we just need to do that. And so, within the limits of what I can do at my age and my business commitments, I do what I can.
Bring the army home, spend the money here, on our houses and our children.
When I'm on top of that bus, people can hear me coming for miles long before they see me. This has been a particularly pleasant campaign. People are more engaged than normal in the process.
I have to shake your hand.
Excuse me.
All the best. Take care. You too. Bye-bye. Prime Minister.
Thank you, brother. Our message is being very favourably received.
We have massive resources. I mean, we outnumber them hugely everywhere we go. He has a huge influence and a huge vote in the Bengali community, and they're 36 to 40% of the total electorate. So we're anticipating doing very, very well indeed there.
I'm a big fan of George Galloway. I really want him to get re-elected. I think he's a big voice, someone to contend with, definitely.
I really believe in what we're doing, so that's the reason why I'm here, and that's the reason why I volunteer my time.
Later in the afternoon, the sun has come out and all the parties are starting to feel good about their chances of winning. With the campaign drawing to a close, it's still too close to call.
It has been, up till fairly recently, a battle of the giants between Respect and Labour, with Tim Archer coming in as the third person who could actually take the seat because of the division of the left-wing vote between Labour and Respect.
I think we might just do it.
It's anyone's guess. If I really had to guess, I would say Tim Archer is in with a chance, and I would say that's for Conservatives, and I would say maybe Jim Fitzpatrick, if he's lucky, might just hold on to his seat with a very narrow margin.
We've got a very good chance. I mean, do I believe we can win here? Yes, absolutely. But it's not really up to me, it's up to the voters today to go out and put their cross in the box. I'm kind of optimistic. I think we can do it, but it's going to be close. I think it's going to be very close between us and Labour, so we shall see what happens.
So you could see a new MP, Tim Archer, emerging for the Conservatives because of the mood of the nation is away from Labour at the moment. He has probably, on balance, the best chance.
I'm confident that we'll hold both of these seats in Tower Hamlets by the end of the night.
It's 10 o'clock and the polls have closed, and a mass of candidates and campaigners have come to see whether their day's hard work has been a success or a failure.
All the ballot boxes are sealed, padlocked and tagged. All those ballot boxes are taken under a police escort to the counting centre. Then the ballot boxes are separated by constituency and they are emptied in the respective tables. And then the ballots, what happens to them is that they're separated and sorted and verified in terms of numbers to check that the numbers in the ballot box match the number of ballots that we have issued. So it's quite a big task.
It's getting late and results are coming in fast from other parts of the country. For some campaigners, the wait is too much. It's after 9 AM when a bleary-eyed Tim arrives, and he's trying to stay upbeat, but the word is he hasn't done quite enough to win.
So how are you feeling? It looks like it's maybe not gone your way.
I have to wait and see. I mean, I understand that Respect seems to have exited stage left, which I guess any reasons that what you will. So we'll see.
With the votes counted and the rest of the candidates ready, George is still nowhere to be seen. Is it game over for the old campaigner?
Timothy John Archer, Conservative Party candidate, 12,649. James Fitzpatrick, the Labour Party candidate, 18,000. Johnson Harold Pryor, Liberal Democrat, 5,209. George Galloway, respect, 8,160. And I do hereby declare that James Fitzpatrick is duly elected to the constituency.
It's been an honour to represent Poplar in Paddington, and I look forward to the slightly easier task of having a constituency in one borough. I thank my other opponents for a good campaign. Thankfully, we don't have to hear that dreadful open-top bus driving around Southampton constantly anymore. And good again to the voters of Poplar and Lighthouse. I am humbled by your trust and your faith. Thank you very much.
I congratulate Jim on his success, and I congratulate him on sorting out the bus. That's something we can share and have in common. I also finally would just like to say that tonight democracy has shown that in Poplar Limehouse